Hi guys, welcome to the Fight Tonight channel. Ryan Garcia vs George Kambosos Jr. possible for 2022, says Oscar de la Hoya. Oscar de la Hoya says he will start negotiations with promoter Lou DiBella for the George Kambosos Jr. vs Ryan Garcia fight, after King Rai takes care of Emmanuel Tagoe on April 9th. If everything goes right for Ryan and Kambosos their next contests in the first half of 2022, we could not see them squaring off in the second half of the year. The one problem that could prevent the Kambosos-Garcia fight from taking place is if Kambosos loses his June fight. Top-ranked promoters for Vasiliy Lomachenko are trying to finalize a deal for Loma to challenge Kambosos on June 5th in Melbourne, Australia. If Lomachenko doesn't face Kambosos, that will open the door for WBC champion Devin Haney to face the Australian on June 5th. Haney would be just as formidable an opponent for Kambosos to fight as Lomachenko, and it's unlikely he will win that fight. Most boxing fans would agree that Kambosos should forget about Haney or Lomachenko and instead face Ryan Garcia, provided he beats Tagoe on April 9th. Friends, before starting to watch this video, I would like to ask you to subscribe to my channel. If you really enjoy the content, then please subscribe to my channel and keep watching the videos. If you are subscribed, then you receive notifications about the release of new videos. You do not even have to look for anything personally. I really want to get 200 subscribers on my channel. I'm trying very hard, absolutely every day, and I need your support. Your likes, comments, reposts to social networks. Thanks to everyone who subscribes to my channel. You are my support. Thank you so much. Kambosos Ryan talks to begin soon. De la Hoya seems eager to make the Kambosos vs Garcia fight, and it's one that doesn't reportedly is interested in showing on their platform. Once he gets past Tagoe, I plan to sit down with promoter Lou DiBella and hopefully iron out a deal for Ryan and IBF, WBA, WBC franchise and WBO lightweight champion George Kambosos, and make that happen by the end of the year, said De La Hoya to Fight Hype. I would love to. Ryan Garcia said to ESPN News when asked if he would like to fight Kambosos. Yeah, wherever I have to go. Obviously, when asked if Ryan is ready to travel to Australia to challenge Kambosos. If we can get that fight, I would be good. We will see what he does. I might go to Kambosos fight in Australia, said De La Hoya. I started talking to Lou DiBella because the talks are that Lomachenko. With that current situation, who knows if he is going to be ready or have a proper training camp for that fight. So let's strike while the iron is hot with Ryan Garcia, said De La Hoya. Getting past April 9th, Ryan vs Emmanuel Tagoe, the first thing is first, but after that, the skies are the limit, said De La Hoya. Ryan Garcia ready now to fight Kambosos. Former WBC interim lightweight champion Garcia believes he is ready right now to defeat Kambosos, and he could be right. Kambosos never showed great ability before his upset win over Teofimo Lopez last November, and he probably would have been crushed by the New Yorker in that fight if he hadn't been injured and weight drained. Ryan will have a massive advantage in hand speed, punching power, and overall talent compared to Kambosos Jr. How will I know? I know now, said Ryan Garcia to the media when asked how will he know he was ready to challenge George Kambosos Jr. after his fight against Tagoe on April 9th. It's just a matter of how I beat Tagoe, and I don't even care if it's a hard fight. Styles make fights, Ryan continued. So if somehow this ends up being a hard fight, I'm going to find a way to win because I actually like. It makes me go to a different gear. I've got a feeling it might end in a 1, 2 or 3 because he does up a lot, as you notice, said King Ryan Garcia on Tagoe being vulnerable to his aggressiveness. He may be fast, but he throws kind of crazy. If you give me that window, I can find a way, trust me. He would better be careful, but if he makes it hard, let's go, it's a fight anyways. I don't take anybody lightly. You see how upsets happen. Chris Colbert and you see Josh Taylor, he lost that fight against Catterall and Teofimo in losing to Kambosos. so I would be a fool if I go in there and try to run him over. I'm going to go in there against Tagoe and take it seriously and find my shot," said Ryan. It's unlikely Tagoe will pull off an upset against Ryan Garcia because he's not a bigger puncher, and he's never beaten anyone solely during his career. The Ryan vs Tagoe fight is more about Golden Boy Promotions setting the wheels in motion for a fight between King Rai and Kambosos later this year. Tagoe is promoted by Lou DiBella, the same guy that promotes Kambosos. If you're wondering why Ryan is fighting the little-known fringe contender Tagoe next, all you need to do is look at the fact that he shares the same promoter as Kambosos. Golden Boy is doing DiBella a favor by making the Ryan Garcia vs Tagoe fight, but in return they are going to get the Kambosos match for King Rai. Garcia improving with a new trainer Guzan. Joe Guzan has had a lot of experience, and he's obviously been in the game while, said Ryan Garcia and his new coach Drew Guzan. He's taken, these are his words, a lot of people that didn't have a lot of talent, and he's taken them to world championship status. He's got a guy in me. I've got a lot of talent. I think with the work ethic that he has and I have, the sky's the limit, and I think we're going to do the great things. He's old school and I like old school. Now he will be returning to the ring after 15 months. A win in April could open up many opportunities for the young superstar, and perhaps a matchup with Davies is the one horizon. ESPN latest rankings have Garcia as number 6 lightweight in the world. Davies is ranked number 3. Ryan Garcia of Victorville, CA and Jamestown, Ghana's Emmanuel Tagoe hosted their kickoff press conference today in Los Angeles at Golden Boy headquarters. The fighters were on site alongside Oscar de la Hoya, chairman and CEO of Golden Boy, and dozen executive vice president Jose Markovsky to discuss their upcoming 12th-round lightweight battle on April 9. The fight is set to take place at San Antonio's Alamodome. Ryan Garcia vs Virgil Ortiz Jr. Oscar de la Hoya feels they're going to meet. Yeah, it crossed my mind. De la Hoya told Boxing Stance in regarding to pitting Ortiz against Garcia. But not now. Both guys are on different paths to greatness and to championship status. But at some point they're going to meet, and it's going to be a super mega fight down the road. I can see that happening within a couple of years. This is just right around the corner, De La Hoya says. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel.